Hey, how's it going everybody, and welcome back for another Fallout 4 mod review, and more specifically a Fallout 4 weapon mod review. My god, it has been too long since I've been able to dive into a weapon mod, a proper firearm, which is just sad. The state of the Nexus is, as we know, a little fragile lately, so getting a good firearm mod feels nice. Now, that being said, today we are checking out the Winchester pack by Robbie the Kid. That's right, the creator of the Caliber Complex has made a new firearm mod, which actually takes some of Type 2 Error's Western rifles from New Vegas and ports them over to Fallout 4. And these are some beautiful rifles indeed. I am always a sucker for some lever actions, and these ones are just beautiful. This mod's actually going to add 4 new rifles, the Winchester 1894 and the Winchester 1876, as well as 2 unique variants of each of those rifles. And the unique variants are unique enough that I would consider them a standalone rifle. So definitely really cool to get some variety of lever actions in Fallout 4, because the vanilla one was just a little lacking. Now, this weapon is added to the leveled list, so you will find it on enemies as well as at vendors, which is always a super cool touch with weapon mods. I love leveled list integration, and the fact that this mod has it has me very excited, as I don't think there's many leveled list lever actions available, so having that and plus a variety of them in this pack, very nice. There isn't a ton in the way of attachments for these mods, as they are lever action rifles, so don't expect any fancy laser sights or grenade launchers, as the mod author puts it. But there are some really cool attachments, definitely some damage upgrades, as well as the ability to swap ammo types for each rifle, so stay tuned for the weapon modification section as it comes up, because there are some interesting points to note there. Now, as for those legendary variants, the first one we have is Awe, which can be found on Red Turret. So, if you go and find that raider boss and kill her, you will get Awe, True to Kaiser, a unique lever action rifle with some really cool Caesar's Legion engravings. The second legendary variant is actually the Onyx, which can be obtained from Ronnie Shaw at the Minuteman Castle, which is a nice black version of the 1876 rifle. Very, very pretty rifle, and can be chambered in .50, but we'll get back to that later. This weapon uses the vanilla lever action animations, which means it does support Hitman's right-handed lever action reanimation pack, and actually suits these weapons very well. Now, I think that's enough info dumping. Let's go ahead and take this thing in-game and show all of the bells and whistles that it has to offer. So here we are in-game, currently holding the model 1894. However, like I said, there are 4 variants of this weapon, but let's get started with those beautiful animations. Like I said, you can use Hitman's right-handed animations, and it suits this rifle perfectly. Let's go ahead and have a look and listen. So as you can hear, this actually uses the vanilla sounds for the lever action rifle, which is just fine. It is a lever action, so it suits perfectly. It would be nice to have some custom sounds, especially by changing the ammo types, but that's something that can always come later. Now, as for each of these variants, you can see that here we have the Winchester 1894. With no perks and no attachments, this thing has a base damage of 45. It shoots 308 rounds, has a fire rate of 5, a range of 14, an accuracy of 64, a weight of 6.5 pounds, and a value of 150 caps. And the stats for each of these rifles is going to be a little bit different. The fire rate, range, and accuracy is the same between the 1894 and the 1876, however the damage is a bit different. As you can see, the 1876 is chambered in 44, meaning it does just a little bit less damage. Then we have the Onyx, which as you can see has a way higher damage, as it is chambered in .50, which is a big honkin' round. And then the Awe is in 4570 government and has a nice damage of 65. Otherwise, the stats for these things are pretty identical, again, aside from damage and weight. So let's go ahead and check out some of the attachments available for these weapons. Let's start with the 1894. We have a handful of receivers here, going from standard all the way up to advanced, just like your vanilla weapon counterparts. Then for sights, we have iron sights or the option to add a long scope. For ammo, you can rechamber from 308 to 38. And then you have the option to add a compensator, a field suppressor, or even a tactical suppressor, which looks mighty interesting. Now, the attachments here are pretty much the same for all of these, sort of. With the 1876, like I said, all of those are the same except for the ammo rechamber. Here you have the option to go from 44 to 4570 government. Otherwise though, the receivers are the same, the sights are the same, and even the barrel ends are the same. Now, the key difference between Awe and Onyx is that they don't actually have customization options, as they are unique variants. They come as is. So if you want to collect these, you gotta like the iron sights and you gotta like the way they look, as this is just how they function. But that's just fine. A .50 lever action is mighty powerful and one that I could see myself using, and I really like that black finish, so that's not really a problem for me. And oh boy, it is testing time. Again, it's been a while, so I am excited. We're actually going to test this weapon 3 times. I know there's 4 variants, but it'll make sense in a second. This first one is going to be the lowest damage we can achieve, which is out of this rifle here, using 38 rounds to see the least damage this thing can do. The next Deathclaw will be the highest damage out of the Onyx with the .50 rounds, but still no perks. And then the last Deathclaw will be the Onyx again, but with the full Rifleman perks to see what the max possible damage is with this thing. So that's what we're going to be trying. Let's go ahead and start with the 38 rounds. We are going to be here for a while. And it really would make us reload one more time just to get that final shot in. So there you have it, 21 rounds, which isn't that bad considering that they're 38s, but it's the reload speed as well as the fire rate that really kills you here, so I wouldn't recommend taking the lowest amount of damage versus a Deathclaw, but that's kind of to be expected. Let's try out those .50s. So here we are with the Onyx, .50 caliber rounds. Let's see how we do. And so close to all 5 shots killing it, but we're gonna have to need one more. There we go. 6 rounds out of the .50 with no Rifleman perks. I have a feeling this next one's gonna be devastating. So here we are now with maxed out Rifleman. Let's see how much damage we do. And in a mere 2 well-placed shots, the Deathclaw is down. Grabbing the Onyx with Max Rifleman is definitely a contender for a late-game weapon, and fits just about any Western character, so really cool. I suppose the last thing I'm going to mention before we end this video is that this is the author of the Caliber Complex. Why does this weapon not have built-in support? Well, the author has stated that they are actually working on a big update for Caliber Complex, and once that releases, they will also release a new version of this mod with support for the Caliber Complex, which is super cool. So, gonna love to see that. I'm sure a lot of you fans of Caliber Complex will be excited to see that as well, so stay tuned for that on the Nexus. And with that, we bring this video to a close. Really happy to be reviewing a weapon mod again, and a very cool one at that. Leveled-less integration, lever action, which is one of my personal favorites, and just a lot of neat bells and whistles, as well as some unique variants. I couldn't be happier. This is definitely an excellent mod and worth trying. So, if you want to try it yourself, it will be linked in the description as always. And don't forget to go out there and support the mod author. If you enjoyed it, endorse it. Consider donating if that's something you're able to do, but most importantly, just show your support and appreciation for all of their hard work. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a rating. Subscribe if you haven't already for more videos just like this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace! And hey, shout out to all of our patrons for their continued support. As always, your donations are greatly appreciated and help to fund videos just like this one, so again, thank you.